Okay, hello everybody. I saw Star Trek Into Darkness, and I was not impressed, obviously. If you're familiar with any of my other rants, I'm not a big fan of the J.J. Trek universe. I don't like J.J. Trek. I don't like what J.J. Abrams has done to Star Trek. I really just am not a fan. And the first J.J. Trek movie from 2009 was just a parody. It was a farce. It was just so unbelievably ridiculous. I just couldn't believe it. They messed up everything. But anyway, I've already ranted and raved about that, so it's Into Darkness time. I knew I wasn't going to like it before I even went to see it. But now that I have seen it, I know with even more conviction that I hate the J.J. Abrams Star Trek universe. This movie was, for the most part, a good movie as far as being a good, enjoyable action, sci-fi, fantasy, summer blockbuster. And believe me, if you don't like Star Trek and you've never been a fan and you don't know anything about Star Trek, you will enjoy this movie. But if you go into this movie thinking about Space Seed or The Wrath of Khan or Ricardo Montalban or Kirk saying Khan, you will go out of this movie pissed off. That's all I got to say. Because I came out of the movie pissed off. And without even going through the whole ridiculous plot and all the other junk, the biggest thing about this movie that just got all over my nerves was at the very end, they completely ripped off the Spock death scene from The Wrath of Khan. Except in this case, the roles were reversed. Spock didn't die, Kirk did. And instead of Kirk saying, Khan, it was Spock that said, Khan, and it just sounded like, it sounded so cheesy. It was absolutely horrible. Horrible. And it just made a mockery of one of the best, most memorable, most heartfelt scenes in the history of Star Trek. The Spock death scene at the end of Wrath of Khan, when Spock was behind the radiation shield and said, I shall be, and I am and always shall be your friend, and needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few of the one. And Kirk and Spock's roles were reversed in this movie, and it absolutely blew monumental chunks. And there were a lot of, from what I understand, there were a lot of very upset Trekkies after that scene. And I can understand why. It was really horrible. It just really was. And the way Kirk was saved was even worse. I mean, they used a little bit of Khan's blood with its super duper regenerative powers to save Kirk. I just couldn't stand it. I'm going to do an actual, full-length review of this movie eventually, because I've got to watch it again, because I've only seen it once, and that's all I can really stand. But I'm going to have to watch it again to do a decent review. But it was horrible. It was just horrible. When that scene played, it was just wanted to puke. But I don't know what J.J. Abrams and his crack team of so-called Trekkie writers have got going through their heads, but oh my God, they have totally destroyed Star Trek. They have ruined it. And yeah, so it made a bunch of money. I mean, I got it, like I said, I have to admit, the movie itself was a good movie. A good movie if you're not a Star Trek fan. If you're just a fan of sci-fi summer blockbusters, it was a great movie. If you are a diehard Trekkie like me, it was absolutely painful to watch. So So I'm not saying it was the worst Star Trek movie ever, but it was right up there with The Final Frontier. I mean, wow. Horrible. Okay, well, that's it for right now. Live long and perspire, and I'll see you.